So last week we have bought 0.47 of a Bitcoin, sorry, 0.047 of a Bitcoin, and we spent for it £500. The commission was super high, it was around $100, probably more. I don't even want to think about it anymore. But I'm doing everything for you, so you won't do the same mistakes with me. I'm doing them for you. Now, today, we were lucky enough, and the Bitcoin, a week later, is actually skyrocketing. How cool is that? So the Bitcoin has went up, I think, around 13% up until now. It was at some point, it touched the £13,000. I'm not sure how much it's going to be when you see that video, but I hope that it's going to stay there, because the $100 that we have lost on commissions, we have actually managed to gain them because the Bitcoin price went up. How great is that? Now, today, we're going to buy some Bitcoin with a credit card, which I really hope that the commission there is going to be much, much less. Whew. Climbing up the hill is not an easy thing, but the view is definitely worth it. Amazing day here in Bristol today, lovely sunshine, and I'm trying to make my 10,000 steps of the day. Today's episode, we're going to analyze, as I promised the previous time. Ooh, cool. In today's episodes, we're going to explain what is blockchain, what do we need it for, what is the difference between coins and tokens, and finally, as I promised at the previous episode, video, finally we're going to buy some Bitcoin with a credit card. Whew. So, how blockchain works? Let's go home and I'll tell you everything about it. What is blockchain? What do we need it for? Is it useful? I mean, I can hear that blockchain somehow is connected with Bitcoin. But what do we do with it? What's that? What exactly is that? So I have done my research with my good friend Google. From, who was it? The first ledger ever invented in accountancy. So the beginning, trying to explain the blockchain is like trying to explain accountancy in 5 minutes. It's kind of hard, but the basic idea looks like that. In order to record everything at the moment, well, in the past we started by using, in Mesopotamia they were using like clay tablets, then we started using paper, then we started using electronic tablets, and now we have the blockchain. Now, the blockchain is literally a ledger, which, what ledger? Ledger means that I am buying something and I'm writing it down. Then I'm selling this something and I'm writing it down again. Then I'm buying something else, I'm writing it down, and I'm giving it to someone for free, and I'm writing it down. Now all these transactions that they have happened, they're recorded on a ledger. The ledger can be electronic, or can be a piece of paper, or we're going to analyze how the blockchain does it. Now, given all that information, there's always a massive problem with keeping the ledger informed and accurate. And the problem is called trust. You have to trust that whoever writes the ledger is actually writing true events that have happened. Or you have to trust that person that he hasn't forgotten. I mean, he went to the restroom and then when he returned, things have happened and he never recorded them in the first place. Or someone intentionally can actually change the numbers and cook the numbers, as they call it in accountancy. So all these problems, we have kind of sorting them out by having institutions like banks, government, solicitors, trustworthy people that they guarantee that the transaction actually happened. So you get the stamp from your government, or you get like an assurance from your accountant. But you can see that this model, it kind of, if someone really wants to change something there, he can actually do it, or she. Now, this is where the blockchain comes. The blockchain, what it does, simply records actions, pieces of data, which means it's like any data can go. It can be a picture, it can be a song, it can be a number like a Bitcoin, it can be any data really that you want to record somewhere. You can record them in the blockchain itself. Now, if we imagine the blockchain in our world, how would it have looked? It's imagine like cardboard boxes that you throw inside stuff. You take the box and I throw, let's take this box for example. You open the box, you throw my pencil, my Rubik's Cube, my earbuds, you close the box. I'm going to need to take that pencil. Now, once you close the box, you're writing on top of it a hash number. Plenty of numbers and letters and blah, 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 something like that. Okay, cool. Now, once this block is filled with stuff, the very first block ever created in blockchain is called the Genesis block. So we have done this. I mean, it's kind of, well, because we just created it, we assume that whatever is inside there is for real, is like that. I mean, I could put a photo of myself really in there. Then, 10 minutes later, and this process, it happens with what we call the miners. The miners, it's nothing more than people that they have a computer, like people like you and me, that they have a PC, a laptop or something, at least at the beginning. It has evolved since then. That we download the special software and it's producing these boxes with a hash number on them. Yes? So when you put something inside, you get a hash number. Now, what's the beauty of blockchain? If you remember earlier that we were saying about the list that you can actually alter stuff and erase and rewrite something there, yeah? So if for any reason anyone will try to open the box and let's say take the Rubik's Cube out and close the box again, this number automatically is changing. How smart is that? So, or if I open the box and I add the Rubik's Cube and my teeth here and I close the box, so that means that if I add information, again the hash number is changing. So that means that every time I add something in my box or remove it, the hash number is changing. How is that useful? Well, it is because every 10 minutes we have the creation of a new box that we are filling in with information. So when the new box gets introduced, it has its hash number, but now that's a great thinking. It has a second hash number which is identical with the previous box. How cool is that? So now what is happening is that if at any given moment of this creation of boxes that is happening every 10 minutes, we call them blocks, if someone opens one of the boxes before, no matter which one, because of this really clever thing that it has changing its hash on the box, the next box is going to start alarm. No, the hashes, they won't be matching anymore. So the whole process is going to stop, and then the box that the hash has changed, it's actually disqualified in a way. Well, we do know instantly, simply, if I can put it simply, we do know instantly that something is wrong with the blockchain. The information in this particular block, it has been changed or altered or added or removed. So in this way, we don't need the middleman. We don't need the bank to confirm that something is truly happening, or the solicitor. If I extend it a little further, probably we won't need even the government in the future, or we're going to need some kind of a different government. But I don't want to go back. I mean, this is a very philosophical question. Don't think of it like that. That's too much. For now, what we need to know is that the information in the blocks, in the blockchain, as long as we have enough people running the same program on the computing power of the planet, imagine, our information is safe and it cannot be changed or altered, and we don't need anyone in between to say so. We don't need the middleman anymore. That's an amazing invention itself. I mean, imagine that the evolution of the whole thing. You can store, we won't need any, we can be like truly green in the future. We don't need any papers anymore. You can have your birth certificate when you're born. You can just put it on the block. That's it. It's in the blockchain. It's a fact. It's never going to be altered. And all the blocks that are getting created, each one of us, it keeps a copy of the whole thing from the block, the Genesis block. So even if, let's say, we have a fire in a building, and you have heard in the past, like so many buildings, they get the biggest, I mean, the saddest bit of human history, that would be the Alexandria library, that it was burned, and all the information that it was stored there is gone forever. So if we had the blockchain, even if half of the planet gets destroyed, still the other half is going to keep the information in. Even if, I mean, imagine that the blockchain is shared between millions of computers. It has a copy of it. It's like a DNA. Even if all the computers of the world disappear and just one stays, still all the information is going to be there. That means that it's crazy. It's mind-blowing, really. Yes, I'm getting very passionate about that. So I hope that I have managed to explain what blockchain is today. And now it's time to get some applications, now that we know how the blockchain works, and now that we know that our Bitcoin is actually, in reality, humanity has never had anything safer than Bitcoin. All these hacks that you're listening, that they have hacked this and that, and the Bitcoin is not safe, and this is not true. The Bitcoin blockchain has never been hacked from the beginning up to now, which is since 2009, and now we have 2020, 11 years. Bitcoin has never been, the blockchain itself has never been hacked, never. What they are hacking is people's usernames, passwords. It's usually the centralized exchanges that they are exchanging Bitcoins and altcoins that they get hacked.